Tomorrow is my IELTS exam. I'm really scared. Can you give us the last minute tip that these things, if I just follow, I can go to the examination hall with a very positive mindset? With respect to listening, with respect to reading, with respect to writing and speaking and whatnot. Entire thing, I will be discussing in detail the last minute tips and tricks that one needs to know a night before the exam. Make sure you watch the video till the end. Hey everybody, Nakul from Skills IELTS. Really hope everybody is doing fantastic. I'm back with it, another video. Today's video is something really nice. If you just watch this video a night before the exam, trust me, you will understand a lot of aspects about where one usually loses mark. The small things, the subtle things we call, that people even don't pay attention to. In this video, I'm going to elaborate each and everything with respect to listening, reading and writing, because this comes as a package in the exam, correct? Speaking sometimes will be included, sometimes not, sometimes it happens separately. So listening, writing, reading and writing together comes, and today I'm going to unveil a lot of strategies, small things which people actually ignore, because of which the marks are always stuck. Before we get into the video, if not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button. At any point of time you need online assistance, it's an online paid course. You can text us in the WhatsApp. We'll be there, guide you in the right way, and to tell you a lot of students on an everyday basis are getting very good scores. So don't delay your success. Alright guys, so let's just start with what I've got for you. Let me just share my screen. So in the exam you get listening first and then reading and then writing, 40 minutes, 1 hour. Alright, so when it comes to listening, problem is the agility. The audio plays, listening skill, you gotta read, reading skills. Listening skills, reading skills. Listening skills, reading skills. Together go hand in hand. Correct? There are some strategies if you apply. You get extra time to solve a lot of questions. Nakul, what extra time? Yes, you heard it right. We'll just see how to make use of this extra time in listening. So let's get into the listening module that comes first. Once you go there, you will listen to the recording, and that initial time is an absolute waste. You don't really need that time, isn't it so? It says you're gonna hear a recording, 40 questions will be there, part 1, that, this. Don't listen, please start reading the questions. Part 1 will be usually easy. So what some people suggest, go to part 2, part 3, part 4 and start reading. You don't do that, man, because you tend to forget. Part 2 you're gonna come after 5-6 minutes. Part 4 you're gonna come after 30 minutes. So we are not Albert Einstein. Use this time to read all the questions. Use the initial time to get familiarized with the questions. Probably you want to feel ease. Let's see the mind, how it works. Let's say you have a problem in the maps, and let's say map question is not there. You feel more activated. Let's say you have a problem in the maps and you see the map question is there, and you get to see that, okay, this is like this, I'm totally prepared. So get to familiarize the questions. Don't just read one by one. Use this initial time, at least 1 minute extra you get, wherein they'll be explaining how the listening, where you need to write the answers and all, to just skim. Part 1 will be easy, part 2, part 3, part 4, just skim and understand how many MCQs are there, how well you should be prepared. Very important, trust me on this. It's all the mindset. And once that is done, they'll say you now have some time to read the questions from 1 to 5. Just read 1 to 5 religiously. Don't do anything. Use this time to read thoroughly. But 1 to 5 will be very easy. Hope you know that. Part 1, part 2 will not be that difficult. Part 3 MCQs we need time. And you start reading it, and once the 30 seconds is done, they'll start the audio, listen to it, try to answer, and after that they'll say you may have some time to read the questions from 6 to 10. Use the time to read thoroughly the questions from 6 to 10. Understand, try to find out the unique concepts. For example, blank will be there, for which the answer could be a digit, for which the answer could be a time, a person's name. So be aware in advance so that you won't be shocked when you listen to the audio. You should know what answers you should be expecting. This is what you should be doing in those time that is given to you in advance. And once that is done, they say end of part 1. You now have some time to check your answers. Let's say you are into paper based. Don't need this time, because in the end you get 10 minutes extra to transfer your answers. Immediately you can go to part 2 and start looking at the questions. This 30-40 seconds you can save. But let's say you're computer based. Okay, hold on. You are writing a computer based exam. That extra 10 minutes in the end, boss, will not be given. Correct? So what I can do here, say part 1 questions will be mostly easy. While writing, while typing, be a bit more conscious so that you don't make spelling mistakes. If you're very confident of your answers, then you have some time to check your answers are not required. Quickly you can go to part 2. But let's say, no Nakul, I have problems in some spellings, so I just wrote fast when I heard the audio. Now I need to check. Then you need to spend time religiously into it and check the spellings. But if you ask me if your typing is good, if your typing skills are good, then perhaps you may not have made mistakes. You can just glance through in 5-6 seconds to see the answers, and if you think it is right, quickly move to part 2 and start reading the questions without wasting any time. This people don't do. People are very innocent. They'll just wait for the audio to say, now move to part 2. Till that they'll wait. Don't do that. Hope you're getting it. Quickly move to part 2, and part 2 same as the part 1. In the beginning you have some time to read the questions, 11 to 14 or 11 to 15, start reading it, and once the question starts, religiously do it, write the answers, and then they say you have some time to check the questions from 15 to 20. Check the question, try to answer once the audio begins, and once that is done, they'll say it's now the end of part 2. You may have some time to check your answers. If you're paper based, quickly move on to part 3, and part 3 is where you need extra time. We'll come to part 3 in just a while. Some golden tips I have to uncover. You have some time to check your answers. If you're computer based, you can check, but part 2, sometimes fill in the blanks will not be there, some headings and all, you don't need to check. You would have written A, B and all those things correctly. You can quickly move on to the part 3 and start reading it. If you're not confident, use this time. Otherwise, jump to part 3 and read the questions. So now part 3. Pay more attention. Part 3 is not just listening skills, it is reading skills. You gotta read the options, man, because MCQs will be there, and that's where people lose marks. They listen everything, but while reading it, they miss it out because they don't have time to read. So now, when you jump to part 3, even before the part 3 starts, read the question. Don't really see option, just read question, probably 2-3 times. And then they'll say, now you will hear a conversation between blah 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 blah. Now quickly jump to the options. Options is where you need to read, and trust me on this, this is a very beautiful technique that I'm going to unveil. Get a picture. Options, you can get a picture or create a story so that you don't forget them. This is the base of it. This is the base of entire MCQs. I read, Nakul, I read all the 7 questions or 6 questions, and then I don't even remember what I read. That's the problem with a lot of people. So create a story. If I just narrate you with a story, you remember the story. If I narrate you 100 incidents, you forget. So try to create a story, some link for the options, and be ready. And just same, you have some time to check the questions, immerse yourself into options and be ready. And then the audio starts, start doing it, listen, read, check my MCQ video. I've explained you should do 2 things at a time, your listening skills and reading skills. Go hand in hand. There's an app called Dual and Back. Write it down. Dual, DUAL -N Back, BACK. You can download this app. This app helps you improve your listening and reading skills simultaneously, helps you for IELTS listening and whatnot, everything. This app is available in your Play Store, in Android Play Store or iPhone as well. You can check that out. So the similar strategy you will follow, like I told you, and finish it off in the end of part 3. If you are paper based, quickly move on to part 4 and start reading. If you are computer based, here you don't have to check the spellings. Mostly part 3 will be A, B, C, you will be writing. So there's no point in spending time. Quickly move on to part 4. You heard me right? You heard it right. Quickly move on to part 4. Use this time now. You have some time to check your answers. 30-40 seconds will be given. Use that time to start reading part 4. Part 4 will not be that difficult. Now immediately jump to part 4 and start reading. And again the same saga continues. You have some time to read the questions of part 4. Again take some time to read it and then start doing it. Small things. The time management. Once you are very much aware of it, things actually become more easier. Because of this time management issue, a lot of people miss out on that 8. They end up getting 7.5. Small things, trust me, matters a lot. Once you finish this 40-minute listening, examiner will take the paper. If it is a paper based or computer based, it says end test and reading will resume. Alright, so reading, pay more attention. Part 1, part 2 and part 3 for academic, or part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 for general. Same set of questions, 40 questions, 60 minutes will be given. But one thing if you notice, they would have given part 1. some questions. Part 2, some questions. Part 3, some questions. Part 4, some questions. No one is telling you to go in the order of part 1 to part 4. You can pick part 3 first or part 4 first, anything. Now it's you at the end of the day to choose. The idea is very simple. There are two theories. First theory states, do all the simple ones first and then take up the difficult ones. This, the reason behind, you take the simple ones first, now you don't have any simple ones left, your mind is now prepared into doing all the difficult ones. And you will try to force yourself to do it within the stipulated time that is left. Another theory, take all the difficult ones first, finish them and then take the simple ones, because simple ones you do it fast. But I don't go with this theory, whichever suits you can take, but if you take my suggestion, I always go with a theory which says take all the simple ones first and be ready for the difficult ones. If you take up the difficult ones first, what happens? Sometimes some few things are tricky. It will take, you just end up spending a lot of time than required, because the timer is still not till the end. Correct? It's not the end. So some time will be left. So you keep on doing it, and by the time you finish, simple ones will not be left with any time. There are arguments for this, but trust me, to have this very calm and colonial, I would suggest start with the difficult ones. Start with simple ones, finish it fast, and then start with the difficult ones. Nakul, how do I know which is simple, which is difficult? That module which gives you the answer in one line. Fill in the blanks. You don't need to read a whole paragraph, boss. True, false, not given. That keyword you match and that line you need to read and get the answer. It will be in the order. It will not come randomly. These are the simple ones where you can get answers like this. Hope you are getting it. Match heading. That paragraph you need to read completely, so it is time consuming. Information matching. One word they'll give, keyword, you need to find where that keyword is present. That can be in any of the paragraphs. These are time consuming, man. Well, there are approaches to solve it, but still time consuming. The easy ones are this, that I'm going to unveil next, but matching, information matching, they won't be in the order. It's time consuming. True, false, not given. Nakul, true, false, not given is very, very difficult. I understand, but you will easily get to the line where the answers are located. You don't need to spend a lot of time on that, isn't it? So true, false, not given. Answers you can find quickly, whether you find it correctly or not, that is different, but you get to that line where the answer is located quickly. Fill in the blanks, sentence completion, and like that, many are there. MCQs, they all come order. Pick them first. Part 1, let's say you have fill in the blanks, do it. And then you have information matching, stop doing it. Part 2, you come. So this way, finish all the simple ones quickly, so that you tell your mind, now be ready for the battle. A simple strategy, trust me on this, will work, but many start doing in the same order, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. In the same way they go, it's okay, but try this. Simple ones you just finish off and then take the deck all at once. Try this, trust me, works, this works in a better way. So take these first, finish ASAP as early as possible, and then take the difficult one. So come back to those later, which are time consuming. Later you can come back and finish them at a stretch. Try this. There are a lot of strategies like this, proven techniques. Take up the simple ones and take up the difficult ones later. That's what I did. That's what all my students did as well. After this comes the big boss, writing. 2 tasks are there, task 1 and task 2. Task 1 and task 2. So what some people suggest, read the question of essay task 2 and then switch back to task 1. Don't waste your time. It's just 1 hour. Ideally, 40% of the marks to letter writing, 60% of the marks to essay. So 40 minutes to essay, 20 minutes you're supposed to put into letter writing or the describe image for academic students. Don't start with the essay. See, when you see the time, it's 60 minutes and you go on writing and you see the time 40 minutes, 30 minutes. It will still, the time is left, so you keep on doing it. There is no boundary, and when the mind doesn't have that limit, what mind does? It goes an extra mile, isn't it so? So I would always suggest start with task 1. Task 1, the questions will be given there, image, everything will be given, or letter writing, everything will be given. Read, start writing it. If it's for general, then you need to only work on the tone. Recently I made a video on formal, informal, semi-formal letter writing. The video is somewhere here, you can check that out. If you're academic, describe image, everything, the image will already be given, you just have to read the image and start. Don't have to take 20 minutes completely. Try to finish it in 17-18 minutes. Proofread, 20 minutes done. Switch to task 2. This is where your destiny is hidden. Come to task 2. Underline the keywords in the question. Pay more attention because this proves very, very vital to your scores. Whatever the question, to that question have you answered? That is what task 2 is. You write hi-fi English space, you get Shakespeare and make him write this exam. But if he writes answers to a different question, he also will end up getting 5.5. Task response, task response, task response. They'll give a question. Just reading and start doing it, don't do that. Underline the keywords. There could be a lot of keywords, some 5-6 keywords, underline them. Let your mind revolve around those keywords to generate the ideas. These people don't. They read the question, start generating. No, read the question, underline the keywords. Sometimes you may need to compare. Sometimes you may need not compare. Let's say the question is, obesity is increasing in the younger children these days in this era. Do you think government is responsible? Now the question is, government is responsible or not? You should not write a steps what government should do. You should only write, yes, government is responsible. Why? Government is responsible because it is government job. We pay taxes. This is the way it should be written. For that you need to underline. Not just government to obesity children, responsibility. You underline that word. Now you let your mind revolve around those keywords to create the ideas. Trust me, most probably 99% of the times you end up answering rightly to the question. These people don't do it. It's called brainstorming technique. You brainstorm your brain, your ideas around those keywords. So task response mostly turn out to be good. Post this, Nakul, I'll start writing immediately. No. Pay more attention. Do you really agree that task 1 is comparatively easier than task 2? Yes, Nakul, yes. Why do you think so? Because there's already a picture given in the letter writing, already question given, you know what to answer. In the describe image academic task 1, image contains every information, you just see, right. But in task 2, what is given? Just a question, you have to create that image. Hope you are getting it. So task 2 is all about, it now boils down to creating that image, watching the image and write. This people don't randomly start writing. It's all about letting your mind revolve around those keywords and generate the ideas, and then connect the ideas in the form of a picture for body paragraph 1. This is the picture, this is the main idea, this is an example. Body paragraph 2, this is the main idea, this is an example, this is a supporting idea. Get the full picture and then start writing. This people don't, and this can prove very, very costly. Get the complete picture of what you are going to write. And trust me, if you do this, let me underline this, 99% of the times you end up getting minimum 7 for sure. You're not getting lesser than that. Post this, if at all you have 1 or 2 minutes left in the end, proofread for spellings, because spellings also play a very important role. So the main idea of task 2 is get a picture, let your mind revolve around those keywords for the ideas, and get a picture. If you don't get a picture, mostly 99% of the times people end up writing wrong answers. So these things are really required a night before the exam to prepare you well for the next big day. Nakul, what about speaking? I made many videos on the speaking part. Speaking is comparatively easier. There are templates for speaking. You can check my templates video for speaking. Speaking, there is no marks given for the content. It is the fluency, coherence. Fluency and coherence, clarity, that is pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar. Grammar and coherence is where people go wrong. Apart from that, fluency. Pronunciation, don't have to worry. So it's the fluency along with coherence. Coherence is what? Again, getting a picture. Main idea, some supporting ideas. That needs to be developed. For that, template will help you. I have given both Part 1 and Part 2 templates. Check out my IELTS Band-Aid templates video. So basically, it's all about fluency, getting a clarity, and grammar. For the grammar part, simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence. A night before the exam, just prepare well that okay, I need to concentrate on simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence. If you don't want to use a template, then you have to use this. If at all you are using my template, automatically template covers everything for you. Alright guys, I really hope this video made sense, this video helped you understand more about what needs to be done a night before the exam. With this, I'll park this video here. This is Nakul signing off from Skills IELTS. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Soon I'll be back with the next set of videos. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.